We were here in 2019 on the Glidden tour, but coincidentally enough, I didn't come to Chester the day we went. I broke down 2 miles out of town and never got here. So I missed that part of that trip. But what we've seen in Chester is, we're going to Great Falls tomorrow. So I really saved the Chester running for Thursday and Friday this week. We've been running since Monday, and now Monday we came to town just to go to the Transportation Museum and the jail, and we did that, and that was kind of like a little warm-up running because it's only 10 or 12 miles back to the motel. So we came because the official trip is Tuesday to Friday. So we have come through Chester on Tuesday and Wednesday. We went to Lowry's and went over through where the Rocky Creek runs across over top of the road and down there, and we did that. I think they call it Saucy Bowl or something on the map, but all the locals know it as Rocky Creek. But we did that on the way to Kings Mountain. So we spent some time here, and we come back. We stopped at Cotton Hills Farms and shopped there, got ice cream there, and then stopped at Mr. Brown's Antique Shop on the way back in Lowry's. And that was Tuesday. It was 100 miles round trip for us. Wednesday, what we did Wednesday was we went to Brattonsville. So, and that, of course, that took us through Chester County to get there. There's another 1911 Model T here somewhere, and there's a 1911 or 12 Cadillac. There's 3 Cadillacs in there. I think they're 1912, 13, and 14 Cadillacs. And the list changes every day because some get left behind at the motel, and I have to stop and think.
So what's been the reaction of the traffic that y'all been traveling along with on Highway 9? And
we haven't had any traffic.
No traffic.
This group is used to having traffic. We don't like it. We try to avoid it. And when I started searching the area looking for places, I said, this is too easy. Only traffic we saw was in Rock Hill yesterday. And it was nothing really to even speak of. But aside from downtown Rock Hill yesterday, we've had no traffic. So we just traffic couldn't have been better.
Two things. One, well, first of all, it almost it seems insufficient to call these cars classic. These are almost like prototypes of horseless carriages. But where does your fascination for these cars come from?
Classic is a term that's been overused, and it doesn't apply to these cars at all. Classic is a time period and is a distinctive group of cars in the classic era. There's no classics on this trip that I'm aware of. Most of your classics are in the 30s, some 40s. But these are vintage autos. This is cars that was built at the turn of the Industrial Revolution. Certainly, you know, it was all the Model Ts that Henry Ford built. Henry Ford built 15 million Model Ts from 1909 to 1927, and the first car to ever exceed that was Volkswagen, and it took them 38 years to do that. So it's amazing that Ford accomplished what he did. And what people don't realize is that Henry Ford founded the Cadillac car company. He went in and built that company, and when he couldn't get money, and when the banks wouldn't give him no more money, they got Henry Leland to come take it over because they run Henry Ford off, and Leland come took it over. Henry Leland built the original Cadillac, and a 1903 Cadillac, and Henry Ford started and built a 1903 Ford. So personally, I love the history of the Industrial Revolution. I grew up with a family of woodworkers, and I'm the only one that's not a woodworker. Technically speaking, we had no roads, we had no gas, oil was terrible, tires was terrible, everything was terrible. So, when people say today we got bad roads, okay, we got bad roads, but if we hadn't had bad roads then, we wouldn't have had good suspension today. The roads of yesteryear created the suspension we got on cars today. So I'm fascinated by all the mechanics and what makes them go and what keeps them going. And I'm interested in keeping them going for another generation.
Give us an idea of how difficult it is to find parts when you need them.
Parts are gone.
So everything just has to be repaired?
I'm not a good one to ask that of, because when I have something broke, I make a new part. Up to 25 or 30 years ago, we had what we called a circle of friends, and you could put the word out. This was pre-internet days. You could put the word out to your friends, hey, I'm looking for a rear axle for a 1914 Studebaker. And everybody would put feelers out among their friends. And, you know, you might, and a lot of times you would hear something back within a year. You know, somebody might have one. But today, even the circle's gone because everybody has expired. Everybody's gone. Age is taking people out.
That's an interesting thing I've noticed is that the ownership of the cars ranges. The age of the people in this tour and the Glidden tour ranges in ages. It's not like you think, okay, a bunch of old people driving old cars.
Well,
It's not.
this group, specifically this group, we've aged in place in the sense that we're into third, fourth, and fifth generations in families.
You grew up in the hobby.
I grew up in the hobby. My father bought his first car in 1947 when he was at the College of Charleston. We still own that car today, and we still have that car. It's a family car, and neither my brother nor my sister is allowed to get rid of it. We kind of pass it around among us.
Gotcha.
It's not that anybody doesn't want it. It's that, you know, when it needs a lot of work, it comes back to me. So when I do all the work to it and they don't want to pay for any parts or anything, I just keep the car till somebody really needs it. Now, I got a broke engine or I got a broke rear end, I don't run away from things like that. Now, if you got a car rotted out and tore up or been wrecked, I might stay away from that because I know how to do the body work. I don't enjoy the body work.
Right.
The engine work, I enjoy the heck out of it.
Well, it shows. Look at your Studebaker.
Well, I didn't do all the body work of this. I did quite a bit, but I mean that car is still under 12,000 miles. It may flip tomorrow.
Really?
12,000 miles. We got that car. It had 7,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And it's a little bit of a long story, and I don't want to bore everybody's time, but I'm the second owner of this car. My father got that car off of Lookout Mountain, Tennessee.
Okay.
And when he brought it home, they drove all night with a Rambler station wagon on an open trailer pulling it home, and he showed up on the farm.
Pulled this?
Oh yeah, 60 years ago.
Right.
That was what you had to do.
Sure.
You didn't have one-ton trucks.